So I'm here with the CEO of Against Gravity, which has a great product called Rec Room, which is another social application. Nick Fight. Nick, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
So can you tell us a bit about the community that you're trying to build in Rec Room?
Yeah. I think there's a couple of unique things that we're trying to do with the community. One of the cool things is you can have a community that's distributed over a really wide space. So you and I don't need to be in the same city to hang out as though we're in the same room. So we're really trying to build a global community where people from all over the world, different countries, different continents can all come together and play as though they're in kind of the same space. I would say another thing that we do that's a little bit unique with our community is we really focus on trying to create some structured social experiences so that you can have strangers who become friends. So rather than kind of like throwing people into a VR chat room by themselves and kind of like hoping that they make connections, we give people a little bit of context like, here, go play paddleball, go play paintball, go do these kind of structured activities together, and hopefully those activities form bonds.
What kind of events, what kind of activities can you do in Rec Room that a lot of people who are not gamers today would find surprising?
Yeah, sure. So one of the cool things about Rec Room is you're really using your body. You're not controlling like a controller. You're actually throwing, you're actually picking up objects, you're actually moving around your space. So we've tried to focus on activities that could only be done in kind of an active VR scenario. And all of these things you're like actively moving around. When you're like, playing dodgeball, you're actually throwing the ball at each other. You're actually dodging and moving. And we find that like level of immersion, that level of activity really like ramps up what's possible in VR.
Yeah, for example, when I walked in the room a minute ago, you kind of just threw a frisbee at me, and I managed to catch it out of midair using my actual hands. Yeah, I didn't have any practice or training at that. So do you think that people need to be gamers so that they can enjoy the sports and activities that you guys do in Rec Room?
No. I think what we're seeing in Rec Room is anybody that enjoys just hanging out with other people, meeting new people, Rec Room's for you. You don't need to be a gamer. We've taken a very like casual approach to gaming. There's enough structure here that people can kind of get going, but you don't need to be a hardcore gamer to find an activity that you'd love in Rec Room.
A lot of critics are worried that virtual reality is making people antisocial. Like, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the antithesis of that. I think people used to worry about that for the internet as well. People were worried, oh, you're just going to be typing away at your keyboard all day and you'll never interact with humans again. And I think, there is a time and a place for social and single player VR content. VR can create some pretty magical experiences in that realm as well. But what we're finding is VR is an amazing tool to connect people from all over the globe. I played disc golf the other day with somebody from Japan. Like, I would never have had that experience if not for virtual reality, if not for Rec Room. So we've actually found that VR is an incredible medium for interacting socially with people from all over the world.
So what kind of future do you hope for virtual reality for yourself and for your company and just for the industry as a whole?
Yeah, so I think if you look at virtual reality, what you're seeing is that the shape of social is going to change. We believe that virtual reality, along with augmented reality, actually represent the next internet-sized opportunity, the next computing platform. And what we've seen is with each new computing platform, you see changes in the way that social evolves. What we see in virtual reality is that social interactions can be real-time, like this. Like you and I would interact as though we were in the same room together. So we think this is what the future of social looks like, is people hanging out kind of the same way that they do in the real world. But they're not restricted by time and space. I don't need to hop on a plane to hop into the same room with you. I don't need to be co-located with you to play disc golf together. And we think that's really what the magic of social VR looks like.
And maybe for just a quick moment, you can kind of show us around the space that we have here. This is one of your private rooms where people can get together. So using some of your nice camera that we have that moves around, maybe you can show us what's in this theater-looking area over here?
Yeah, sure. So this area is actually kind of an area where if you stay there, here I'll show you how this works. We actually use this for 3D charades. So you have a box of cards here, and so you can pick up a card here. And basically I'm going to use this gun to draw something, and you kind of guess what the card is. All right, so.
Okay, I got a circle. And, so it's a watch or a clock? It's like time out.
Time.
Okay, cool. You threw it.
You can make all kinds of objects with this. And but yeah, so this is kind of just like this is like a charades game where you can just grab cards in here. And one of the fun things about this is it's kind of a combo of like Pictionary and charades. So you can actually like draw items and act something out. So I could like draw a sword right here, and then like I could actually act out like, you know.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, here, go ahead.
You could see how this would be great for kids or families who want to play or have a family game night. So maybe I'll make like a thing and then like a racket. And
There you go.
And then how do I grab it?
Grab it with your other hand. Try grabbing with the other. Yeah,
And
there
I
you go.
got like a little racket thing.
Yeah, you do.
That's excellent. Well,
Cool.
Nick, thanks so much for this tour today. This was really great.
Sure. All right. Have a good one.
You too.